I'm Dr. Kate Steiner. I'm a burnout recovery strategist. I do this work because I had my own experience with burnout, and that research led me to a process where we forget about avoiding burnout and we instead embrace it, which I have found people respond to in a much more resilient way, and they're actually able to recover faster from burnout. What I really want to ensure is that no one went through what I went through, in that I became like the worst version of myself. Looking back, I didn't call it burnout. I didn't refer to it as that. I thought I was just unhappy. I thought it was because of my relationship. I thought it was because I was working most nights of the week and every weekend. I thought it was because I was in the classes and having that demand on my time. And I remember having a conversation with my mom where she essentially asked, "Where did my daughter go?" Instead, now I live in this happier, healthier space, and that's what I really want for the people I speak with, the people I work with, is that they don't experience the worst version of themselves, but they're able to tap into the happiest, healthiest version of themselves the majority of the days that they're living. What you are going through when you are experiencing burnout is really incredibly natural part of being a human, and you're not alone in this aspect. And I think that that's really important. And since it's something that we all go through, it's something we're all able to recover from. So one thing that I have learned in all the research that I've done and in my own journey is that you cannot avoid burnout. Kind of a heavy statement when you're here to learn how to not be impacted by burnout, right?
You know, it was actually comforting to realize that we all do it, because there's a stigma to burnout that you think that you've done something wrong, and in reality, we all burn out in different ways at different times. So that was comforting for me.
It was incredibly inspirational. It was surprising to me, to be honest. You hear the word burnout, and I think that all of us can relate to that in some way. We think, sure, we experience that, but you don't really know what that means. At least I didn't. And so it was very informative and then very inspirational, because the things she talked about, you related to so well. I was like, wow, I can't believe that she's pinpointing these things that I couldn't have pinpointed in myself. And then, of course, she has the information as to what to do about burnout in the different aspects of your life.
So what I really like to talk about are burn events, circumstances, activities, interactions with difficult humans, things that happen in our everyday life that bring about that sense of overwhelm, emotional drain, or fatigue. And we all experience these things. So these are common stressors, but what happens is we don't recover from them as they're happening. So they snowball, they compound upon each other, and that's what creates this full-on burnout. So some of the things that I cover in a keynote speech include really talking through the process that I utilize for burnout recovery, and that is anchored in 3 phases. So observation, preparation, and recovery. Long-term changes when it comes to burnout recovery. The biggest change I see is that they have planned recovery. And the biggest shift in that mindset is that they no longer cancel on themselves. So not only do they have the recovery planned and on their calendar, instead of doing something else or giving that time to someone else, they actually schedule and hold that meeting with the most important person in their lives, which is themselves.
When I think of people that would probably benefit the most from one of her programs, and I think it's a wide range, but I think any professional, any academic, any person who has a lot on his or her plate, either professionally or relationship-wise or what have you, could definitely benefit from listening to her speak and perhaps seeing some of those guidance signs and those telltales that it's necessary to do a little more self-examination.
I think everyone should actually go hear Dr. Kate speak, because she manages to touch on different things in different speeches about who's burning out and when and why, and how you can learn the best coping strategies for yourself. So for me, I think everyone should hear her speak.
I would recommend seeing Dr. Kate speak to anyone. It doesn't matter your profession, it doesn't matter your background, your lifestyle. I would recommend it to anyone because it's something that we all can benefit from.
So I have lots of different free resources available for folks, both on my website, so drkatesteiner.com. In that aspect, they can sign up for my weekly newsletter, which is a weekly tips on how to kind of face burnout, but it's really beyond that. So I'll talk about how to communicate with others, how to set boundaries, how to maintain things like a vacation mindset in that aspect. I also have a podcast, the From Burnout to Recovery Show with Dr. Kate, and that offers an interview with a different person every week. They're talking about their own journey with burnout, their own way of reaching recovery. And so there are lots of different tips and tricks that are a part of that. And every show ends with a recovery moment. So at the very least, you're getting something from 5 to 10 minutes of a visualization that's going to help you relax. The easiest way of booking me to come in and work with your employees, whether that be through Keynote or developing a specific workshop for your company, is to contact me through my website, drkatesteiner.com. And there is a form you can fill out. We will connect over the phone or over a Zoom meeting to really ensure that I'm going to be a great fit for what you need in your company or your organization. And then we can talk about dates and those kinds of pieces. How might you be able to show up differently for yourself, your friends, your family, colleagues, and other people around you if you were able to have a sustainable plan when it came to addressing your burnout? Because once again, we can't avoid it, but we absolutely can embrace this human experience through observation, preparation, and recovery. And we can approach burnout from a different and more resilient space.